Overflows.
Sexual transformation, conscious return to innocence. Sexual transformation is return to a state of conscious innocence. Sex is just energy. It is the liquid form of existential bioenergy that you are born with. Sex is flowing form of this energy that you are born with. It is one yet important application of this energy. First, energy need to melt from its present form. As liquid, it can flow in both directions, downward and upwards. Downward movement of this energy without understanding is the cause of chaos, misery, and life of disharmony. This we know as sex. The upward movement is the beginning of the process of transformation. This is a process that begins with energy to change its form. Meditative understanding and austerity provides necessary energy to change its form from liquid to vapors. Thus, bioenergy as sex goes through various stages. Each stage of its movement gives a certain amount of fulfillment. When the energy reaches the vapor state, it dissolves into the outer atmosphere. It dissolves into cosmos, leaving you not only fulfilled, instead blissful as well. This is the near shore of enlightenment. If you stay unconscious, this energy controls you. If you become aware, you control it. And if you go beyond it, and you discover the ultimate bliss of existence and the purpose for which this bioenergy is given to you. This is the deeper understanding of the biblical story of devil enticing Eve to taste the forbidden fruit and God expelling both Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. This interpretation of Adam and Eve story centers on the concept of consciousness and the transition from an innocent, blissful state to one of knowledge and suffering. Therefore, the expulsion from the Garden of Eden is not a punishment as explained by Christians, but a natural consequence of gaining awareness and the ability to discern good and evil. It signifies the birth of ego and the beginning of human complexity with its inherent joy and sorrows. It was deep introspective insight with which they were expelled. Now it is time to begin the exploration deep within. Those who followed the path of indulgence or repression perished into its influence, and those who understood this energy as a stepping stone for transformation attained to awakening and thus became beacon of light, awakening and intuitive understanding beyond finiteness. Let me explain mystical aspect of this biblical story. The Garden of Eden represents a state of blissful ignorance where Adam and Eve were like animals. They were simply existing without self-awareness, or capacity for judgment. The forbidden fruit signifies the fruit of the tree of knowledge and therefore symbolizes the awakening of consciousness, the ability to differentiate between good and evil, and the emergence of ego. The expulsion of Adam and Eve was not punishment by God. Instead, their own choice to gain knowledge that led to their self designed expulsion from the innocent state of the garden. Knowledge is dualistic in nature. Knowledge, while brings power and the potential for greater awareness, it also brings suffering, conflict, and awareness of death. Life being life beings with a state of unity and oneness. This is unconscious and cannot take far. The moment it becomes conscious, one leads to a life of bliss beyond duality. Therefore, humanity is on a continuous journey to return to the state of unity and wholeness, a journey that involves experiencing both joy and sorrows of life, enjoying, experiencing both the joys and sorrows of life. Thus, the expulsion of Adam and Eve is self imposed, as our own actions and choices, driven by ego, creates the barriers that separate us from our original state of unity and nature. Mystically, the story of Adam and Eve illustrates human condition, the nature of consciousness, and the path towards enlightenment, which involves transcending the ego and return to the state of wholeness, even while remaining aware of the duality of existence. And this is the purpose for which bioenergy is given to you. Sex is a natural, powerful life force that can be the gateway for a spiritual experiencing, particularly when approached with awareness and acceptance, not repression. Through meditation and understanding one's own sexual energy, intimacy could deepen, attain attain to different stages of intimacy, bringing the intimacy much deeper and potentially transform into a higher form of love and even prayerfulness. Sex is life force, not a purely physical act, but a fundamental life force, a powerful energy that can be channeled for growth and transformation. Repression of sexual energy is harmful as it leads to neurosis and unhappiness. A conscious and accepting approach, a conscious and totally accepting approach to sexuality is essential rather than a judgmental or fearful one. This you have to understand. Sex is a life force, not a purely physical act as we understand it generally, but a fundamental life force, a powerful energy that can be channeled for growth and transformation. Repression of sexual energy is harmful as it leads to neurosis and unhappiness. On the other hand, a conscious and accepting approach to sexuality is essential rather than a judgmental or fearful one. Sex, therefore, remains a stepping stone. Sex, when approached with awareness, can be a stepping stone to higher states of consciousness. The intense energy of sex, when understood and integrated through meditation, can lead to a sense of oneness and even prayerfulness, harmony within. The experience of orgasm, when approached with awareness, can be a glimpse of divine and light of awakening, is still far away. Much work is needed to be done beyond this state for sex to become light beyond duality, the peace, the harmony, the oneness beyond duality, and all such things. Enough for now.